And we are recording. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to today's live AMA TTC, March 26, 2021, coming to you kind of from a hybrid standpoint. So we will get into that shortly. But first things first, as always, just wanted to leave with a disclaimer. Trade the Chain is an informational and community-oriented service. Nothing that we say is to be construed as financial advice. None of us are financial advisors. Do not listen to me. Do not listen to David, that guy right there, trading nickels. Do not listen to Nick. Do not listen to Alex. Do not listen to Ryan. Make your own decisions. Now, with that being out of the way, I want to just pass it over to Nick briefly to kind of touch on why we've got a hybrid AMA set up for the day.
Yeah, thanks so much, Weston, and hello, everyone. It's great to finally be here in the role of Chief Community Officer. I've been in the community for the past couple months, and I've just absolutely loved everything going on, from the product to the people to the community to the leadership. I don't think you could find a better community in crypto right now that kind of combines everything from what you need on the trading end to what you need on the support end to everything that you need to actually feel fulfilled as a human in this ever crazy 24/7 market that we find ourselves in. So it's so great to be here doing a kind of a bit of a hybrid AMA today. Alex and Ryan are on vacation, cooking up some business for us, and we got a bunch of fun things coming in Q2, Q3, and Q4 that we're really excited about. But before we get to some of the other fun stuff, I know Trading Nickels has been doing a lot of work on FA and TA, kind of looking at a few gems that I know he's been tracking in a few markets. So we're going to go ahead and pass it over to him to highlight a few assets that you may want to check out. And I'll pass it over to him. So take it over, Trading Nickels.
Thanks, Nick. And it's really great to finally see you face to face.
Yeah.
So last week, one of my trading gems was talking about ADA, where I didn't get a lot of upside, but I actually shorted it. And people were like, how in the world did you know to short that? And it was actually an arbitrage situation because Coinbase, for some odd reason, had this really high price. I tried to send some to Coinbase. That kind of arb doesn't work. It never works. They didn't let my deposit go in for 12 hours. So that was a bust. But as I saw price coming down and down and down, Coinbase was ahead of the rest of the market. I thought the rest of the market's going to catch up. So I went ahead and shorted. And as price across all the interwebs and blockchain started colliding, price came down. So when you see, let the arbitrage professionals try to arbitrage where they actually move funds from one exchange to the next. I can't seem to do that. I can't get the funds to move fast enough. It never works. But sometimes it can be like a leader that says, hey, where's the market going? Coinbase is saying it's going down. I'm going to go down over at Kraken, and I picked up a few percent. I didn't go wild on it because I knew it was a SIG dev. I knew there's a lot of volatility. It could shoot right back up. And ADA did have a nice pop today.
Could you walk us through maybe, what you first saw, and, maybe was it from TTC? Was it on the chart? What alerted you to think, hey, maybe I should short this?
Well, I mean, I was trying to buy ADA just about every exchange I had. And in the meantime, I saw that the price what did initially rise, but it just kept going down. And I was like, okay, always trade the market that's in front of you. And this to me looked like bots had been pre-set up to attack every drop of money you put in. It was going to suck it right back out. And I was like, I've seen pump and dumps. SIG devs normally don't act like this. If SIG devs are starting to act like this, I got to be careful. And I started selling off where I could, except for that crazy amount that I tried to send over to Coinbase to catch that really high top that no one else saw. And I was seeing my price at other exchanges at like $1.30, and at Coinbase is already down to $1.27. And I was like, this is an opportunity. And I shorted it down to about $1.22. Maybe $1.25. Maybe I got out as it started to swing back up.
So let's go ahead and share the chart just so we can give everybody a little bit of context for what Trading Nickels is talking about. So it sounds like you were kind of looking at these SIG devs, and would it be safe to say this kind of area where you're seeing kind of a secondary pump happen after the first big one, which kind of resulted in what I'm looking at as a double top from technical analysis. So would this kind of double top area be where you kind of first made that first instance or inference, I should say?
Yeah, and what was interesting is it was popping really high like that. It actually went up to all the way to $1.60 on Coinbase.
Wow.
I was thinking it was going to drag the market up, but before the market started communicating and averaging out, they were dropping faster than the rest of the markets. And I thought, well, I couldn't catch it up. Maybe I can catch it down. It's actually, the charts were being literally different at Coinbase than they were everywhere else I looked for Cardano, for ADA.
And that basically alerted you to say, hey, something weird might be happening in the markets, and I'm seeing sig devs get reacted to rather quickly, meaning that something fishy is happening. Maybe I want to go against the tide that I was trading before. So you basically got a big kind of reversal indicator from a weird exchange activity pushing price, creating some weird arbitrage between exchanges, and two, you saw that sig devs were basically getting attacked very quickly, meaning that someone was watching them very closely, eyeing a potentially a retail or a anti-retail move. Maybe it would be a good.
That's right. It wasn't like it was a normal one where a lot of ordinary people were buying and buying and buying and then maybe selling. This was people actively attacking the buyers.
Nice.
Yeah. And
well, not nice, but it's good that you noticed that.
Right. What's important is that the lesson here for everybody is that he was able to respond quickly and adapt and readjust his strategy. And that's what's so important.
And I guess just to add my quick little TA move on here, just because I think we talked about a lot of FA, we talked about using the TTC product, but to me, and to go along with what Trading Nichols was thinking as well, if I see a double top like this with a bad red candle right here, that to me is a double top, and that's an automatic shorting formation as well. And as you can see, even though it hasn't broken that previous support that it bounced off to create the double top before, it went back pretty close. And I think if we do a really quick price range here, we can see that if you would have shorted that top, that's a 30% trade just spot, without even using any leverage. So you can see how lucrative using both TA, Trading Nichols, FA, as well as TTC in combination, how lucrative that can be with patience. So 30% trades, nothing to laugh at, just seeing some market factors move like that. So any other trades, Trading Nichols?
Yeah, so we had a few more Coinbase listings, and I was afraid that the same thing was going to happen this week that happened last week, that it wasn't going to be like we used to see where everything just really sung and really took off, and it really built and had momentum. I was seeing stuff go up and slam back down just like it had for ADA, but I decided to stick with Anchor anyway, because with these listings, Anchor, Wes, do you remember the other two that were listed? I don't remember.
It was Anchor, Curve, and Storage.
Yeah, Anchor, Curve, and Storage. Curve and Storage, they did not have good sentiment going in. The tool said bearish or low neutral. I can't remember exactly. While Anchor was actually pre-bullish. And I was checking the Twitter and I was checking how people were talking about the different ones. And I couldn't really find anything in the moment. But I was just like, sentiment, the TTC dashboard's already telling me that Anchor is the one that people like. It's the one I've heard about the longest. I don't even remember anything about an FA, but I ended up holding it for a few more days, and sentiment just kept building and price kept building, and that was a really good winner this week.
Yeah.
And I guess quick question on Anchor. So I know, and for those following along that are maybe looking at the TTC dashboard, I know there's short-term sentiment and then there's kind of long-term sentiment. So whenever you're kind of looking at Anchor and you kind of you're doing your risk to reward, maybe I'll hold this for a couple of days, see what happens, put a stop in place so I can protect any losses. But when you're looking at, okay, I'm going to hold it for a few more days to see what happens. Are you focusing on that short-term sentiment, or are you looking at that long-term sentiment, or maybe both?
In this case, I use the daily as my barometer of what's going on right now. The hourly can be, like Joshua Frank tells us, the hourly can be incredibly chaotic and go from very bearish to very bullish at a drop of a hat. But the daily is something that I trust in a trade, whether it's a very short term or longer term, more than the hourly.
Okay, that's good to know. And how about you, Weston?
I would agree with that, and I think that also in parallel it kind of shows the same with charting in TA, right? You know, like a 1 hour, a 4 hour, a daily. Which one is going to be more likely to actually play out? The longer time frame. So with sentiment, it makes sense that the daily is typically going to be more consistent.
Great. And are there any other coins that cropped up on your list? I think we discussed ADA, Anchor, I think Storj you had mentioned as well. We'll throw that one up on the chart just to check out. But are there any other coins that are on your kind of your gem list?
Not mine, no. Storage I tried to play with, and it looked like it was getting eaten up.
Yeah.
For that.
That's a tough one right there.
It didn't. What's that?
That's a tough one right there, looking at that chart.
Yeah, it suddenly blew up out of nowhere, and I don't even think that happened when the SIGDEV happened. I can pull up when the SIGDEV happened.
I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a weird one.
Definitely high risk, high reward from what I'm seeing on the TA right now. So,
yeah, I had no idea that was going to shoot off. I was too scared of storage when I looked at it.
Yeah, you can see here, looks what did it in is that that 50 MA touch right there. I think that's the 100 that I have right there. So yeah, it immediately touched it and shot up. So either that was a crazy bot move or a whale was very interested in Storj. So
yeah.
Moving forward though, Weston, I know you had a couple ideas or topics that you wanted to discuss in relation to some assets.
So just one actually this week, and I love that you randomly just said 30 is nothing to laugh about, because I was joking that 30 in 30 is kind of my new catchphrase from a SIGDEV that I caught earlier this week on Ramp. 30% in 30 minutes. That's the goal. 30 for 30. So we got to SIG, and SIGDEVs are very, very, can't stress this enough. They're very potentially dangerous. You just have to be aware of what you're doing when you enter one. So as you can see on the chart there. So we got a SIGDEV at 12:59 a.m. on right there. We're about to shut up really high. And
we just got a SIGDEV. Sorry. OKX. Sorry, Wes.
Okay.
Weston's got to check the SIGDEV before.
Yeah, I got to test the
I know.
I'll be right back.
I know, right? I got it. It's OKX. Tends to be 10-11% on the day, man.
Go ahead, Weston. So right here.
Yep. 12:59, or excuse me, 12:58. I entered the position at 12:59. I wrote it up till 1:29. Exited for 33% for 30, some 32 point whatever percent gain. Exited, and as you can see, was basically the right time because it took a big dive.
Yeah, that's a very solid trade.
Yeah, right. And it goes to show, I mean, 30 and 30, right? That you can't ask for more than that, but it also goes to show the pitfalls of not paying attention, being vigilant with the trades, because had you held this, not a good trade.
Wes, do you get anyone asking you after a while after SIGDEV happened, hey, should I get into this? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, well, it's hard because there's not really a right answer. Each one is unique. Well, there's a right answer for each one, but they're all unique in the sense that sometimes you got to pay attention like this. And it was like, hey, I saw it tick down, boom, I was out immediately. And that's, every case is unique, honestly, is the answer. But the most important thing is that if you are going to be entering a SIGDEV, you need to be watching it, because it's like, this is the most volatile, high alert time of any asset movement, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think SIGDEVs are extremely lucrative, but along with any kind of alert style trading, it's not an automatic trade every time. It does take another layer of analysis. And I think that's something that we want to focus on a little bit longer term here in the TTC community, is how to kind of double up or triple up on styles of analysis within the market to be able to cross check and sanity check yourself on trade. So let's say taking a TTC SIGDEV and applying a little bit of fundamental analysis with a little bit of technical analysis to be able to give you a better sense of whether it's going to rip or not, like Weston said. And I think Trading Nicholas talked about an ADA instance where we got a small boost, but it was already after a very large boost. So the better action was to wait till the boost was over to short it rather than get up on halfway through the run. And in Weston's case, brand new coin, wasn't already a lot of action happening. Great time to get in on an early listing and ride up a wave. So it really does depend, from an FA standpoint on how the coin had already moved, when the listing happened, and then a TA standpoint, did it, how crazy was the previous move, and at what point am I getting in right now? I.e., do I want to go short or do I want to go long? So these are the questions that an experienced trader asks in their head before placing a trade. So
yes,
and there's a lot more that goes on along with it, but that's basically 30 seconds. That's what goes through my brain like that. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what happens when you get good. You practice, you do this a lot, and obviously you have TTC to help you along with a lot of things. So
you get me thinking about a lot of these weaker SIGDEVs. A lot of people only go for the big ones, and I like to look at the small ones too, because if something's just ranging up and down and it's enough of a move that I'm safe to buy without the SIGDEV, why not buy it? Because I have a SIGDEV to encourage me as well. If something keeps popping up and down and it's enough move that I can make up the fees on, why not try for it? That's exactly one of the things I do on some of these unusual ones.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Weston.
I was gonna say, yeah, absolutely. That I mean, we could open a whole can of worms, of course, on that. But I was gonna say, but before we've got 5-10 minutes left here today. Why don't we transition? The main event is you, Nick. We wanna ask you some questions and introduce you and share some of your background. I know everybody's dying to learn more about you. So unless you guys had anything else you wanted to finish up on there in the trading aspect.
I think the final note would just be, trading is about risk versus reward. You're not gonna hit 100%. If you're a good trader, you hit 60 to 70%. And I should say, if you're the best trader, you hit it that well. So always be prepared that there may be a loss in there, but we are here to be either support, help, guidance, not advisory, because don't exactly listen to us, but we are here for whatever that you need in the market. So and thank you, Weston, for teeing that up, and I'll welcome any kind of conversation along with this. And I'm going to switch to the Bitcoin chart, because this is probably what you'll hear me talking about in the TTC community the most. So I'll have that up just as a little background to keep people interested, but I don't want to spend the whole time talking about myself. I would much rather field some questions from the audience and talk about, and push the direction there. But to quickly give a brief synopsis of my history, I've built multiple multi-thousand person communities in the cryptocurrency realm, focused on trading, sentiment analysis, business intelligence, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, all sorts of fun stuff. I even built a community application or helped build a community application at one point that ended up fizzling, and we ended up pivoting that to B2B. So I've got a lot of experience in the community realm and the trading realm, and assist in kind of combining both of those in one. So we did it back in 2017 when all this stuff was really brand new and still kind of cutting edge. So very happy to be joining along with a company that's doing it the right way, already has a flourishing community, and and is continuously improving the product, along with creating some other interesting things that we've been hinting about for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So my before crypto, I was in the institutional world at Deutsche Bank and their innovation labs. Worked with a lot of blockchain company. I worked on the very early Hyperledger implementation between bulge bracket banks globally. So like Eurocoin. That was the first thing that I worked on back when that was like in a pilot program. So that was a lot of fun stuff, and worked with a lot of alt data companies, which is how I got my sentiment and business analysis kick. So I worked with 400 companies all the way from legal to trading in terms of changing the fintech world. So a lot of fun stuff there. And then I've, just been obsessed with Bitcoin for the past few years and have made it, a goal of mine to just get very good at trading, understanding trends, and then trying to share that with people after I know it. Because it's no fun knowing something yourself and not having anyone to enjoy it with. So
Well said.
a lot of what you'll see me, I'll learn in public with you guys, and I'll admit when I'm wrong, and I'll always double down when I'm right. So you guys will get to know that as well. So that's enough about me. I don't want to spend the whole time. I'm very excited to learn everyone. Please feel free to DM me, reach out, Twitter, Discord, whatever. I'm here to support you 24/7. So please reach out.
Yeah.
That being said, no, we've got about 10 more minutes left. Does anyone have any questions for myself, Weston, or Trading Nichols?
I had one for you that I wanted to ask. Let's see if we've got any in the Q&A. Well, actually, building on what you were just getting at. So to kind of reiterate, you've got a broad and diverse background in finance, in analytics, in community management, in trading, right? Everything that really leads to success in crypto trading, in my opinion, personally. So what drew you to Trade the Chain, or why would you want to join Trade the Chain of all places when there's so many people trying to do what we're trying to do?
Yeah, it's a great question. I appreciate you asking that. So I think that the starter reason, what piqued my interest originally was a man named Alex Mascioli, who I think you all know and know very well. I actually met him speaking at a conference in Philadelphia back in, I think it was 2019. And long story short, we ended up grabbing drinks and sharing a few laughs, and we just started a great relationship. And we had spoke whenever he was starting TTC, and I was like, I'd love to follow along. I've done this before. It sounds very interesting. Let me know if you need any help. And a couple of months later, after being in the community for a while and just seeing what's happening and seeing the rapid growth of TTC in the community, as well as understanding the product and its impact for traders and being able to help provide signals, the community is providing education and supports. It just kind of hits every kind of ethos point that I live for, helping people, communication, transparency, crowd sharing information, power to the consumer, things like that. So yeah, those are the things that I care about. And when I met with Alex and heard about TTC and eventually met Ryan and lived in the community for a little bit as a bit of a lurker, I really felt that this was the premier community trying to do what we want to do long term, and that's educate the masses, give power back to the masses, and build and have fun. It's really make money and take power away from the powers that be, and have fun with each other while we do it. So that was really why I wanted
finance.
Yeah, less. I mean, I love money and I love finance and I love talking statistics and numbers and all that, but I love people more.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to make money and make people happy, and that's kind of how I want to live life, and that's a big reason why I wanted to join TTC.
Wonderful. I think
trading crypto was pretty lonely before TTC. It's nice to talk to people that are like-minded and are interested in the same things you are. It's incredible.
It's one of those things where it's a 24/7 market. And if you're an active extrovert in the market, you want to talk to people all the time about it. And your friends and family aren't ready to talk about Bitcoin for 9 a.m.
They're like,
no,
shut up already.
Now. Yeah. They stop me now.
Yeah. So, so you're paying for the product and you get the community along with it. And I think it's a great combination that it pays for itself long term. So.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, that's all I had. I think that's all we have. I mean, wonderful answer. I am so thrilled that you're here. I think that you're going to have such a positive impact on everything, and just the direction we're going is great. We've been rapidly growing. Community is that core component, and I'm just excited for the future. I'll leave it at that, unless you guys have anything else to add as well.
Trading nickels, I'll let you, do you have anything? I've got kind of one final note that I want to say just about what Bitcoin looks like, but other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, just a little bit of a warning, unfortunately. SIG devs seem to be trading differently than they were. It feels like a lot of things are getting bought up before the announcement. That feels pretty fishy. So be extra careful as we go along here, because it does not feel the way that it did just 2 weeks ago. It feels like the whole landscape's changed.
Yeah.
And to add a little color on that, so this is more or less my third or fourth cycle. And altcoin, as the markets get a little bit more saturated and the protocols grow, obviously we're not going to see, you know, some of the more insane stuff we did across the market. We're seeing some, you know, 400% pumps in an hour and stuff still. But for the most part, whenever Bitcoin starts to calm down and the talks about, you know, now we've got Fed inflation and a bunch of other wonky, you know, yield curve and all this kind of crazy stuff that
Macro
gets
matters.
jargony. Yeah, really kind of crazy macroeconomic stuff. So right now we are in really brackish waters. And I think anyone who's realized how to make money is trying to do it extremely well now. But once Bitcoin starts running back up and tokens feel comfortable launching en masse again and making deals with exchanges, I think the market will begin to flourish a little bit more. Like April is always a big month for crypto. Always. It has been for the past 8 years. It probably won't change, knock on wood. But you have to understand that March is generally a down month. So SIG devs may get bought up, market saturation, liquidity looks different, market players are distracted or doing different things. So maybe April, I completely agree with trading nickels, but I do want to give some inspiration as well and say April should be a little bit different and there should be a little bit more opportunity coming.
Yep. Yep. And
Excellent.
with scaling on the horizon, it's coming, guys and gals. I mean, it's coming. So when that happens, the floodgates, in my opinion, are going to open. So be ready.
I'm seeing the rumors on Twitter. Yep.
Yep.
Claiming things before they happen.
Yeah, a lot of scheduled upgrades are coming out, you know, Q3, Q4 this year too. And so I don't think we're done after the summer. So time will tell.
No.
So moving forward, just to finally close out, because I know Bitcoin runs the show. It will for pretty much the entire time crypto exists, hopefully. And I want to give an update on exactly where we're at. You'll see me kind of sharing a lot of stuff in Crypto Millionaire Circle, but this is one of my all-time favorite formations in the history of technical analysis. This is the infamous bull flag. This is what you want to see if you are a bull, is you've got a massive amount of run up and you've got a consolidation in the exact 45-degree path that we want to see for a reversal. It is not violent. It has been bought up. Each support level you can see has spent days being combated. And even after yesterday, we touched the bottom of the trend and we bounced back up. We're not getting all the volume that we need, but you can see that technical indicators are showing that we've been oversold for the past few weeks now. MACD is beginning to reset. And
you got 1 minute left to wrap it up. So
Yep.
I don't want to leave people on the ultimate cliffhanger.
I got you. As you can see, MACD is almost reset. We've got a great bounce here off the 50 MA. I am not saying we are out of the weeds yet, but if you are a bull and you hold a lot of spot Bitcoin, this is the best formation that you can be in. And if you wanted to make a play, this is the time that you would do it, is when it bounces off the end of the channel towards the end of the formation. So good luck. Bitcoin looks great.
Love it.
Great save.
Yeah, we are out of time here. So perfect. I will wrap it up. And thank you all for joining. And we'll see you in the community. And welcome, Nick, officially.
Thank you, Weston. Thank you, everyone.
Welcome indeed.
All right. Cheers. Bye, guys.
Bye.